Hello, my name is Evan Jones for Com 181, Section 2507. Hello, have you ever been sitting in the classroom and you just wonder, is this as good as it gets? Well, today I'm going to show you that it's not, and hopefully I'm going to persuade you of the flaws and why public school in a modern setting is wrong. I'm very credible on this topic because as me and all my peers we've been through the school system for about 12 years now, starting when I was 5 years old, preschool. And over this time period, I have realized the flaws and why modern education is bad. But I've also realized a lot of ways that it can improve in. And I think that the solutions I'm going to list would be very helpful and it would put us in the right path to correcting the flaws. First, I want to talk about standardized testing and why at a first glance it looks good, but as you dig deeper, you realize pretty quick that people are good at certain things. People have particular skill sets, in that they not everybody is good at taking tests. People with ADHD get distracted easier. Different people are some people are good at math. Some people enjoy it. Some people they're not there. They're not just not good test takers in general. I also want to talk about memorization testing and the strategy of cramming in information into your brain and then spewing it out on a test. This is also good at a first glance. You study for something and then you take the test, but after you take that test, the reason for knowing that stuff is gone. So you quickly after you forget it. Lasts about a week, and then quickly, as a lot of my peers would agree, your parents are a good example. They might have had straight A's in high school, but then as they get older, they forget pretty much everything they learned. But the things that they enjoy, they remember. Um, which also is one of the solutions in making it a more enjoyable experience learning. I also want to talk about teachers and why the teaching staff at a lot of schools and the schools that I've been to, quite frankly, have been sad and disappointing that these are the people that we have teaching our students. And I've had a lot of experience with disrespectful teachers, unprofessional teachers. A lot of the teachers I've had, a lot of them have been good, but some of them have just not really been there. They haven't really wanted to teach the students or spread their knowledge. They're stuck in more of a high schooler mindset than adult mindset in terms of their job. And this goes along with my next topic, which is expectations of the students are set very low, which is not surprising coming after all the things I've already talked about, because you kind of set them along that path of almost acting like the students are just products on an assembly line. You're sending them into the workforce, not looking at any of their skill sets or exposing those and improving on those and making them better at what they're already good at. Instead, they try to make them good at things that they don't enjoy and that they aren't good at. And now I'm going to tell you how to fix these problems. Starting off, I'd like to talk about, like I mentioned before, making learning more enjoyable. And this would help with exposing those skill sets, like I talked about. And it would also help, instead of the memorization strategy and speaking out on a test, that strategy, it would focusing, just getting rid of tests altogether and just overall focusing on exposing those skill sets and just getting the students to enjoy and be more engaged in the lessons instead of just study this, learn this, test on Tuesday, you know. And my next topic is actually student skill sets, in that a good metaphor for this would be you wouldn't line up a giraffe, a um, elephant, or a monkey and have them race up a tree, because obviously the monkey would win because he's good at running up trees. Just like standardized testing, you wouldn't set everybody on the same level ground like in the ACT or the SAT, because not everybody's good at test taking, and having that depend on, or having that decide if you're going to go to the college you want or not is not right, and it shouldn't be that way. Next, I'm going to talk about advancements in the school system and everything. You look around the modern world and you see advancements in almost everything, but for some reason you don't see advancements in the school system very much, except for this year when it takes a pandemic for us to realize that we don't need in-person school. We can do things online. Although it might, yes, it might need a little adjustment, but all around it needs improvement. And the just sitting people in a line in the classroom and lecturing them for an hour and a half and they move on to their next lecture, it's not effective, and it needs improvement. This picture here shows a car 100 years ago versus a car now, and you see a lot of differences and a lot of improvements. And this car goes 300 miles an hour. This car goes 10 miles an hour, versus a school 100 years ago and a school now, which there's almost no difference, and that is sad. And I hope that in the coming years, hopefully soon, we can get this fixed and we can make learning a more enjoyable experience and a more effective experience. And in conclusion, I hope that you learned a lot from my speech today, and I hope that I persuaded you that modern education is wrong, and I hope I've informed you of the ways that we can fix it and make it better, especially during a pandemic like this. I hope you enjoyed my speech.